So we're sitting on our heels, our arms are sliding forward with the elbows lengthened. We allow the head to drop down. When we get down there and the arms are lengthened, you rest for a second or two. You catch your breath. You allow the spine to widen. And when you're ready to come up, you put a little bit of pressure on your hands, but the tailbone is being tucked under. The front of your belly is like zipping up a tight jeans. And that's what brings you up, the power of your pelvis, the muscles in your pelvis. And the arms are just being slided passively along, lengthened.
Stuff on the knees.
Stuff on the knees.
Today, right now, this moment.
Yeah.
We haven't been doing this for a while.
All right, so let's do it just one more time. Just one more time. And lengthening the arms, allowing the head to drop, allowing the head to be heavy, allow gravity to take you down. And once you're down there, take 2 or 3 breaths. And then when you're ready to come up, tuck the tailbone under and feel like you're zipping a zipper in the front, from the pubic bone up to the belly button. And allow the spine to slowly round and get long as your whole body is coming up. And once you are up there, roll a little bit to the side. Come back up, just one second. Roll to the other side and release the legs. Have the knees bent and roll them from side to side with the pelvis. See if you can put all 5 fingers underneath the thigh, and as you roll the knees to the other side, you're actually going to roll the pelvis back and up to the other side. So the pelvis is doing half a circle, back and side and up, so the knees can go to that side. And roll back just as much as your abdominal muscles are comfortable with, and up to the other side. And as you go back, maybe the legs can lengthen a little bit, and as you come up, the legs can shorten a little bit. And as you go back, the legs can lengthen a little bit. And as you come up, the legs can shorten. And lengthening and shortening. And going back, lengthening. And coming up, shortening. So when you're coming up and you're shortening, you're sitting on one side of the hip and the legs are bent. When you're going back, your spine is lengthening, your legs are lengthening, and when you come up, you're sitting on one side. Maybe you can even turn your torso to that side. So you're turning the torso now to your left, that left. And then when you come back down, you're lengthening. And when you roll to the other side, your torso, and maybe if you're going to the right, maybe the right leg can go a little bit more than the left. What would make sense? Like, because you want to see what's in front of you. As you go down, the legs are lengthening. As you're coming up, maybe the right leg can shorten even more so you can turn more to the right. And as you go down, the legs are lengthening. And as you come towards the left, maybe the left leg will go a little bit more so you can turn the torso to that side. And if you need the help of your hands, then go ahead and help with your hands. Maybe you want to put your hands on that side. Going down, you don't need the hands. And maybe coming into the side, you do need the hands. But you want to keep your leg nice and soft, bent. And then lengthen. Good, and stay to that side and have your hands one next to the knee and one even further back. And see how far you can see. And from here, lengthen your spine up, 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 and round it. And lengthen the spine up and round it. Now I'm turned into my right and my left pelvis is coming up when I'm lifting my spine, when I'm erecting it. And the left pelvis is coming down when I'm rounding. And my right knee comes up a little bit. And when I erect the back, my left hip comes up. And when I round, my right knee comes up. And see if you can kind of rock from the right hip to the left hip, allowing the whole spine to round. So let me turn this way so I can see you, sorry. So one hand is on the knee and the other hand is in the back.
Okay.
We turn it to the right.
So am I facing right? Yeah.
So my left hand is on my right knee and my right hand is behind me.
Oh boy, I have a traffic jam.
Just-
full of
yeah.
phones, yeah. They're really crunchy.
Yeah, and you're just rounding and you're erecting. So what you are gonna be, so change the legs a little, open up a little.
Open up a little bit.
Yeah.
My ribs are
Do an
crunchy.
adjustment, yeah.
Okay.
So what you wanna do is rock on the hip. Rock on the hip. And when you're rocking on the hip, the spine gets longer. And when you're rocking towards the left, the spine gets, it's long, but it's kind of, the head gets closer to the hip. And when you're rocking forward, the head becomes taller and the whole spine gets taller. Too much?
Well, my ribs are inside my pelvis, so it's a real traffic jam.
Try to do it on the corner of the chair.
Oh, good idea.
So the leg has more room.
So I'm sitting on the chair?
On the corner.
On the corner.
So you can rock back and rock forward. And rock back. And when you rock forward, try to lengthen the spine and look at least to the horizon, or maybe even towards the corner of the wall and the ceiling. And when you rock back, the eyes go down towards the leg, maybe towards your belly button. And when you come forward and up, the eyes are moving along the wall, and then they will move down and rock and rock. And you inhale when you come up with the spine, and you exhale when you rock back. And when you come forward, you inhale, and when you exhale, you come back. And then rest, bend your knees, lie down for a minute and rest before we do the other side. Feel the difference between one side to the next side. Allow the floor to come up towards your back, towards your hip, towards your legs. And allow your body to go down towards the floor. Who is receiving who? Okay, and roll to the side and come up. And have the other leg in front. And so now the left hand would be on the right hand would be on the left knee and the left arm would be behind. So that corner. And we are rounding the pelvis, allowing the left knee to come up and the head to come towards it. And when we extend, the eyes are moving along the floor, up this wall as you inhale. And exhale, going back, and inhaling, going forward. And rocking back, and rocking forward. And rocking back, and rocking forward. And rocking back, and rocking forward. Does this hip allow you to rock from side to side in the same way that the first side allowed you? Is that side tighter?
Tighter,
Yeah. What can you do to help it a little bit? Can you work with the eyes more? Can you work with the whole back rather than only the pelvis? Can you include more body parts? The eyes are moving at the same tempo that the movement of the pelvis and the back. Can you find the rhythm? And ask yourself, what am I using? And how am I using that? Like, I'm looking at you and you're doing this.
I'm doing that too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if you can rock and round the whole thing. And the knee will come up, but it's the pelvis that rocks. Yeah. Does it feel a little different?
Yeah. It's more on the bones back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, and let's lie down and rest for a minute. Stay on the chair because we're going to continue in the same vein. Okay, and let's roll back up. Maybe from the other side, if it's possible. Maybe next time. And we're going to put the right leg in front again. And we're gonna put the left arm on the right knee and the right arm behind. Same thing, same exact thing. So go to the corner. As we're gonna round back, we're doing the same thing, but since we're rocking on the pelvis and the knee comes up, maybe the foot can be hovering off the ground. And as we slowly rock forward and the eyes are traveling and the back is arching, erecting and arching, maybe the back foot can hover off the floor. Just as much as you can without creating too much tension in the joint. Rocking back and allowing maybe the foot to come up. And rocking forward, and only when you feel that the spine has you, that you are in the right place, you're not too far forward, you're not too far back, that you're in a place where the leg can become light. And see if you can actually listen rather than, oh, she told me to lift my leg up. Okay, boom, ouch, ah. Okay, because it is a hard place to lift the leg. So try to find it, even if the leg does not come up or just the toes come up. I'm more interested in your body weight over the hip and the legs than the ability to actually lift the leg. The lifting of the leg is just like an indication of where your upper body is. And the more forward you're going to take your upper body, the easier it will be to lift the back leg. And try it with looking and try it without looking and see if the eyes can help you. All right, that's I think enough for this joint, and bend your knees and come into resting. Okay, let's roll to the side and come up to sitting. And now we're going to have the left leg in front and the right leg in the back. We're going to have the right arm over the left knee and the left hand behind. So you're now in that corner.
There's this wood in the middle.
I know, yeah.
Makes it interesting.
Move to the second chair. There you go.
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Fill it back.
And we're rocking back to the point that the foot can hover. And it can hover because my center of gravity is so far here. And it's like a seesaw. So I'm not lifting the leg. I'm not doing an exercise. I'm finding where is my rocking will just make my legs so buoyant that it can come up. And as I come forward, and I'm building up and lengthening the spine, and my body weight is so far forward that the back leg can come up. And I overdid it. And don't forget to use the eyes in relationship to the neck and the rest of the back. Okay. And lift your knees. And we're going to go to the same thing that we did in the very beginning. So we went to the side. When we went back, the legs lengthened. And when we came to the other side, the knees bent and we're able to turn towards that side. So the pelvis rotated, legs lengthened, and when we came to the side, one knee bent a little bit more than the other so we can turn into the direction. And you can use the arms to help you. You don't have to do it only with the abdominal muscles. And see if now the back is responding a little bit different into the rounding and extending. When you come up now, do you have a better feel of being like a swan with it lifting up and going down towards the tail? The legs are lengthening and coming up. And allow the legs to move towards lengthening and towards, when you're up, they are behind, kind of bent and behind you. Both legs are bent. And start with the pelvis rolling back. The pelvis is rolling back. And the pelvis is coming on the side as the legs are bending. And one more time towards the back, and now put your elbows down and bend your knees. So, you want to come down to the floor now?
Yeah, I'll try. That was a help, big help.
Good. So let's put our elbows behind us and the hands on the floor so the forearms are on the floor. And just allow the pelvis to roll to one side and allow the knees to come with it. And see how much we can roll that way. And bring it back up from the pelvis. And do it again to the same side. Roll the pelvis to the side. And see how far the knees are going. And now roll the pelvis back, not the knees, not the knees, only the pelvis. The legs are coming with the pelvis. Let's do it again. Allow the roll to the side. And now lift the knees. Do you feel the difference? So we're going to do it with the pelvis because that's the strongest one. So now let's go to the other side. Go to the right, or the other side, doesn't matter. And the pelvis is bringing me back up. And let's do it again to that side. And the pelvis is bringing me back up. Let's go to the first side and turn the head to the opposite direction. And come back from the pelvis. And turn to the second side and turn the head to the opposite direction. And bring the pelvis back up. And go from side to side. And the leader is always the pelvis. And the knees and the hand find the center at the same time. One more time. And the pelvis starts the movement and the knees and the head come at the same time. Go ahead and rest your head. I don't know about you, but my neck is screaming. Okay, so now with this, in this position, bend the knees. Open the knees a little bit wide, the feet a little bit wider to the edge of your mat. And roll your knees to your left. To your left. And roll the head to your right. Start dragging your right arm up over the shoulder on the floor and leave it where it's comfortable. Lengthen the right arm from the ribs on the floor and let it rest again. It's like somebody's pulling your shoulder blade in the angle that the arm is laying, and rest it. And again, somebody comes and pulls your arm in the angle that it's laying, and see if you can soften the rib cage and allow the person to pull your arm. Allow the rib cage on the left to get shorter, on the right to be poking out of themselves. And rest the arm. And let's do it one more time. That passively somebody is pulling your right arm in the angle that it's laying. And now look at them pulling it. Your eyes are going up there. And now rest it all. Rest the arm down. Rotate your pelvis back to the center, and that allows the legs to come up. Go ahead and let the legs go to your right. Allow your head to turn to your left. Slowly bring your left arm up over the head where it's comfortable. On the ground. And now that passively somebody is pulling your left arm out of its with the scapula, with the ribs, and let it go. And pull, 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 and let it go. And again, that passively lengthening the left arm out, and the rib cage is softening and becoming more and more flexible. And let's do it one more time. And relax the left shoulder into its socket. Bring it gently down. And then the pelvis will come back to center, lifting the legs. Bring your arms next to you and bring your head up and tuck your elbows and your forearm underneath you again. Round your back and look at your belly button and extend the back and look up towards the ceiling. So it's the same thing that we did when we were sitting on the side. Rounding the back, looking at the belly button, and rocking the tailbone down and down and down, and that extends the back somewhat, and your head is looking up towards the ceiling. And rock, feet on the floor, the same distance between the knees and the feet. And rock back. You look at the belly button and rock the hip forward, and you're looking up at the ceiling. And when your head gets tired, go ahead and rest. Great, and go ahead and roll to the side and come up to sitting. And take both hands and put it underneath the left leg. Open the legs to hip width apart. And we're going to rock on the pelvis so far that the left foot can hover. We're going to come up and the left leg can lengthen. So I'm not straightening because it's an exercise, I'm straightening. I'm lengthening. And rock the pelvis, and the leg is shortening. Same thing that we did in the beginning of the class with the rolling of the pelvis from side to side. We're just looking at the same thing from different angles. And see if you can get the eyes to move down towards the belly button. Maybe the elbows can lift a little bit so you have support. And the strength of your pelvis rocking forward starts erecting the spine, and the eyes are coming along the design on the rug and up the wall, and maybe even up towards the ceiling, depending on how much extension you have in your back. And then the eyes are going down, and the pelvis is rocking. And you're going down and down and down and down towards your belly button. And again, how far you go depends on your configuration. So don't try to get somewhere without the ability to really go through and with somewhat ease. Yes, we are working muscles, but there should be a rhythm rather than, I'm trying so hard. Good. It's starting to look really nice. I don't see any legs straightening just because, but it's coming out of the movement of the pelvis and the spine. And And go ahead and just lie down and rest for a minute. Okay, and roll to the side. And we have another leg. So 2 hands underneath the right leg. Find the distance of the feet and the knees. And rock the pelvis, and that will give you the gauge how far you should go and with what ease. What we're working on today is a very, very ancient beginning reflex when we're about a half-year-old that's developing. When you learn martial arts, you learn to fall, poof, round, and bring yourself, you become small, so you are rounding yourself, and you're getting the shock absorbed instead of like breaking bones, but like poof. Okay, so as opposed to the extension, which is that, where the eyes are going like that, and you extend and extend and extend, and you're catching the ball, right?
Look at you. You're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's that.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, but then when we fall, chuck, nothing happened.
Right.
Okay, so that's what we're doing the whole lesson today.
Practice. Well,
Yeah,
we
so
have
let's
some-
try just to kind of roll and find it. Roll and find it. And roll and find it. Wonderful. Pelvis rolls. And pelvis rolls to find it. And the back has to extend, extend, extend. Shoulders are free. There you go. And roll and find it. Good, 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 good. And roll. Open your legs a little wider. There you go. No, not you. She tends to do this. And roll and find it. And rest.
Wow. It's like being a child again, isn't it?
What?
It's like being a child again.
Yes,
Finding your
it's-
toes.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, rest for a minute. Good work. Just feel how your back is laying now on the floor, how your pelvis is meeting the floor. are your legs laying there? Again, ask yourself, is the floor coming towards me? Am I relaxing into the floor? Am I able to give up my weight a little bit more than 40 minutes ago? And we'll go back into the beginning of the class. Go ahead and roll yourself to sitting. We're going to roll to the side, bending and extending the back. Where are your eyes now? Are they a little bit higher on the horizon than they were half hour ago? And roll your back, the hip, backwards, legs are lengthening, coming to the other side. And where is the horizon now? Is your back a little bit taller? And rock to the back, lengthen the legs, coming to the side, and find your new horizon. And last time to the other side, rock back and to the side. And sit in the center. And just take a minute to observe yourself with the spine in the center of your hip. Can you feel both sides of your hips? And just take a few breath in and out to notice where you are now within yourself.